Ever seen a light in the dark that felt wrong, like it was watching you? Welcome to Shadow Watch, where we chase tales that flicker just out of reach. Tonight, we're in Salem, Massachusetts, where a glow doesn't guide, it traps. Meet the Lantern Keeper, a shadow who carries a flame that never dies, and if you follow it, you're gone. Stay close. This story's twists will burn brighter than you expect. This is Nate Harper, a 35-year-old journalist with a nose for stories that don't add up. It's October 2024, and he's in Salem, chasing a tip about Crow's Point, a lighthouse shuttered since the 70s. Salem's all witch trials and tourist traps, but Nate's here for the quiet stuff, the whispers locals don't share. Crow's Point sits on a cliff, battered by Atlantic winds, its lantern dark, or supposed to be. His source, an old sailor, swore it still glows at midnight, calling people who never return. Nate rents a cottage near the cliffs, close enough to smell the sea. His first night he's restless, scrolling notes about the lighthouse, a keeper, Elias Crow, lost in 73, storm, no body. Locals called him odd, always tending the lantern, muttering about debts to the sea. Nate's skeptical ghost stories sell tours, not truth. But at midnight he sees it. A flicker from the cliffs. Not a bulb, but a flame, swaying, like someone's carrying it. His pulse ticks. It's no reflection, no trick. He grabs a flashlight, boots on, and hikes to Crow's Point. The path's overgrown, salt air sharp, and the light's gone, but the tower looms, windows black, door rusted shut. Nate circles it, finding scratches on the stone, spirals deep like they're fresh. A hum hits, low, not wind, but something older, and his flashlight dims, catching a shadow, tall, blurred, holding a lantern, its glow cold, wrong. Nate blinks. It's gone, but the hum stays, whispering his name. Nate. Soft, like waves on bone. Back at the cottage, Nate digs deeper, pulling records online. A forum post about Elias, how he'd walk the cliffs at night, lantern swinging, guiding ships, or something else. After the storm, folks saw the light, swore Elias never left, picking names from the town, leading them to the sea. Nate shakes it off. He's chased dumber leads, but his notebook's open to a spiral he doesn't remember drawing. Lines sharp, glowing faintly. The next night the light's back, brighter, swaying on the cliffs, and the hum's louder. Nate, clearer, pulling him. He stays put, windows locked, but the cottage creaks, shadows shifting like someone circling outside. His phone glitches, screen flashing the spiral, then blank. The sailor's warning replays, "Don't follow the light, boy." Nate's no coward, but this isn't just a story, it's personal, and the lantern's glow feels like it's already inside him. He checks his gear, batteries dead, though they're new. The hum grows, not from the cliffs, but the walls, and the spiral in his notebook pulses, red, alive. Nate's breath catches. He's alone, but not, and the light's closer, seeping through the cracks, calling. Salem's ghosts are loud, but this one's different. It knows him, and it's waiting. What would you do with a light that sings your name, a shadow that won't fade? Would you follow or douse it? Nate's about to learn what the Lantern Keeper guards, and it's not just a flame. Don't go anywhere. This story's flickering to life, darker than Salem's coldest nights. Nate's hands shake, the spiral in his notebook glowing faintly, like it's breathing. the hum of Crow's Point still in his ears. Nate, a whisper from the cliffs. The cottage feels smaller. Shadows curling where they shouldn't. The lantern's cold glow burned into his mind. He's chased stories before, but this isn't a lead, it's a hook, and the lantern keeper's light feels like it's already snagged him. He needs to know what Elias Crow left behind, or sleeps off the table. He boots his laptop, diving into Salem's archives, finding scraps about Elias, a loner who kept the lighthouse through storms, muttering about debts to what waits below. A grainy photo shows him, tall, gaunt, lantern in hand, eyes too deep like he saw something. Nate's pulse ticks, and the sailor's warning replays, "Don't follow." But the light's back, flickering outside, not on the cliffs, closer, swaying by the pines. His flashlight's dead, though he charged it, and the hum's louder, threading his name, Nate, daring him to move. He grabs a jacket, stepping into the fog, the path to Crow's Point slick, Atlantic winds biting. The lighthouse looms, its door cracked open, though Nate swore it was rusted shut. The hum spikes, and the lights inside swaying, not electric, but flame, cold, blue, wrong. He steps in, floorboards creaking, air thick with salt and ash. His breath clouds, the spiral scratches on the walls pulse, glowing faintly. And the hum's a voice now. Nate, pulling him up the spiral stairs toward the lantern room. The stairs groan, each step heavier, walls tightening, spirals denser, like eyes watching. Nate's flashlight flickers, useless, but the lantern's glow guides, steady, promising answers. The room's vast, glass cracked, the old beacon rusted, but a lantern sits, lit, swaying on its own. Shadows dancing, not his, too tall, too blurred. He freezes, the hum chanting, Nate, and the glass reflects not him, but faces, dozens, eyes glinting. Salem's lost, trapped in the light. Nate's throat locks, the lantern pulses, and he sees it. A logbook, open, names scrawled, Elias's 1973, underlined, then others, fresh, Nate Harper at the bottom, ink wet. His heart pounds. This isn't history, it's a claim. The shadows shift, closer, their forms clearer, not people, but debts. Elias's crew, bound to the sea, to him. The hum names his failures, a story he faked, a friend he left, small sins, but here they're fuel, and the light's hungry. He grabs the logbook, pages burning his fingers, and backs away, the lantern flaring, shadows lunging, their hands cold like wet stone, brushing his arms. Nate bolts down the stairs, the hum roaring, Nate, promising he's theirs. The doors open, fog thick, and he runs, cliffs fading, but the light follows, swaying in the mist, patient. The cottage is ahead, door ajar, though he locked it, the spiral in his notebook glowing brighter, alive. Nate slams the door, panting, the logbook heavy, his name pulsing red. The hum's fainter, but the lights outside, circling, and the shadows linger, not in the lighthouse, but here, watching. He's out, but marked, and the lantern keeper's glow isn't guiding, it's claiming. What would you do with a light that knows your soul, shadows that don't blink? Would you keep digging, or douse it? Nate's caught in the keeper's beam, and it's not letting go. Stay with us, the story's burning brighter, darker than Salem's deepest tides. Nate's breath catches, the logbook scorching his hands, his name inked fresh, a claim by the lantern keeper's glow. The lighthouse hums, spirals on the walls pulsing red, like veins alive. The shadows of Elias Crowsdebts circling, their eyes glinting, too many, not human. The lantern sways, its cold flame flaring, whispering, "Nate," not from the air but inside him, naming his guilt. A story he twisted, a trust he broke. The light's not guiding, it's hunting, and Nate's its mark. He grips the logbook, pages trembling. Elias's name, 1973, circled, tied to a storm. A deal with what waits below. The shadows sharpen, tall, blurred, their forms bending wrong. Not sailors, but echoes bound to the lantern to Elias. The hum spikes, chanting, "Nate," peeling his regrets. Small sins now anchors, heavy, pulling him down. The lantern pulses and the floor shifts, boards cracking, revealing a trap door, scratched with spirals, glowing, promising answers, or worse. Nate hesitates, the shadows closing, their hands brushing, cold, like seaweed and bone, urging him toward the trap door. He shouts, voice swallowed, asking what Elias wants. No answer, just the whisper, louder, weaving his name with shame, a dream he quit, a lie he lived. The lantern flares, glass walls reflecting faces. Salem's lost, their eyes his own, trapped forever. Nate's heart pounds, the logbook burns and the trapdoor creaks open, unbidden. Dark stairs descending, the hum roaring. Nate, daring him to follow. He steps down, stairs slick, walls tightening, spirals denser, glowing red, like eyes tracking him. The air's thick, smelling of salt and rot, the lantern's light faint, but pulling. A lure he can't shake. The stairs end in a chamber, stone, vast, walls carved with spirals, pulsing, alive. A lantern sits, twin to the one above, its flame blue, swaying, shadows pooling. Not shadows, but forms. Elias's debts, their eyes endless, claiming. The logbook falls, open to Nate's name, glowing, and the lantern flares, showing glimpses. Not his face, but his failures, flickering, raw. The shadows hum, their voices blending. Nate, promising truth if he stays, oblivion if he fights. He sees it, a chain, rusted, coiled around the lantern, names scratched into links, Elias's, others, Nate's now, fresh, wet. The hum's a command, the shadows closer, their touch freezing, peeling his soul, his sins, his name. Nate backs up, the chamber shrinking, spirals bleeding light, the lantern's flame spiking, blue, alive. He grabs the logbook, pages tearing, and spots a crack, high, glowing faintly, a way out maybe if Elias allows it. The shadows hiss, their forms merging, a chorus of eyes, endless, hungry. Nate climbs, hands slipping, the chain rattling, the hum roaring. Nate, promising he's theirs. The cracks narrow, but he forces through, tumbling onto wet cliffs, fog thick, the lighthouse dark, but the lantern's glow follows, swaying, patient. He runs, logbook heavy, the hum fainter, but in him, looping, his name its refrain. The cottage looms, door open, though he locked it, the spiral in his notebook pulsing red, alive. The shadows linger, not above, but behind, watching, waiting. Nate's out but bound. The lantern keeper's light not a guide, but a cage, and his name's locked inside. What would you do with a flame that knows your heart, eyes that never fade? Would you fight or follow? Nate's trapped in the keeper's glow, and the truth's about to twist. Don't look away, the story's burning deeper, darker than Salem's blackest seas. Nate's breath clouds, the logbook searing his hands, his name a glowing wound under Salem's fog. The cliffs roar. The lantern keepers hum, weaving Nate, not a sound, but a chain, binding his guilt. A story he warped, a friend he ghosted. The cottage is dark, but the lantern's glow sways outside. Cold, blue, alive, Elias Crow's shadow not just in the lighthouse, but in Nate's bones, claiming what's his. He slams the door, the logbook pulsing. Names, Elias's, others Nate's, bleeding red, like debts unpaid. The sailor's words haunt. Elias is packed with what waits below, a light that traps, not saves. The hum grows. Nate, from the walls, naming sins, small scars now anchors. Footsteps creak, not his, circling. And Nate spins, shadows pooling. Tall, blurred, eyes glinting. Not human, but hunger. Elias's debts awake. The notebook's spiral burns brighter, red, twisting, and his phone buzzes, blank, whispering, Nate, from nowhere. The logbook's pages shift. You owe, though Nate's no sailor, no keeper. The shadows hum, closer, their forms wrong, bending, not chasing, but waiting. The lantern's glow seeping through cracks, promise and truth, oblivion if he looks. Nate's heart pounds, the cottage shrinking, walls fogged, the light inside now swaying. Elias's eyes in every glint. He runs, logbook slipping, the hum roaring. Nate commanding him to stay. The cliffs blur, fog curling like hands, shadows gliding, patient, endless. Nate reaches his car, keys shaking, engine coughing and drives. Salem fading, the logbook glowing faint, alive. The light trails, in the rear view, swaying. The hum faint but deep, his name its pulse, promising Elias waits, always. Miles out, Nate pulls over, hands trembling. The logbook quiet but heavy, like it sees him. His reflections off, eyes too hollow, glinting like theirs. The lantern keeper doesn't guide, he takes, and Nate's marked, a debt carved in light. He'll ditch Salem, chase new leads, but the glow's patient, its hum eternal, lurking in every dark, every pause. Crow's Point still burns, calling names, snaring souls. What would you do with a light that owns your soul, shadows that never sleep? Stories like these don't fade, they flicker, make you jump at every spark. If your blood's pumping, smash that like button. Prove you're still here. Comment below, would you chase that glow or snuff it? Share this with a friend who'd flinch at a light, or one who'd scoff just to spook them. Subscribe to Shadow Watch, hit the bell, embrace for more tales that'll haunt your nights. Next time, we're diving deeper, unless you're too scared to see.